Hello everyone, welcome to the Whistling Hermit's One Card Spread series. This video series is primarily intended for learning how to read the tarot. However, you can also use this as a card reading for the day. This is a timeless reading, so if you are watching this now, its message might be for you. For this video series, we will be using the giant Rider Waite Tarot deck by the US Games Systems Incorporated. We will also be using the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite by AGM Urania. The first part of the video will be a descriptive study of a specific card in the tarot. We will describe what we see and the insights and feelings we gather from what we see. The first part is characterized by spontaneity. We allow the cards to speak to us regardless of the generally accepted meaning of the card. By doing this, we hope to increase our intuitive capacity for reading the tarot cards. In the second part, we will be reading the description of the card taken from the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite by AGM Urania. If you intend to use this as a timeless reading, you can randomly choose any card in the series that resonates with you. An alternative approach is to shuffle a Rider Waite card deck and pick a card randomly. You can then choose the card in the video series that corresponds to the card that you picked. Note that this series is a work in progress and it might take some time for the 78 cards to be completely read. So, without any further delay, let us proceed to the card for the day. So our card for today is the card of the Fool, and it is number 0 in the Giant Rider Waite Tarot deck. It's quite interesting that this person is considered a fool. When you look at him, he seems to be a clean person, and there might be some phrase in the sleeves of his clothing, but it seems to be an ordinary. I don't even know if it is really part of the design. No? He seems to be a well-kept person, immaculately kept in a certain way. He's not afraid to be different. I mean, the way he dresses himself, he's not afraid to wear something that is quite loud, printed, and he's not ashamed to wear a feather on his head. And he's not afraid to live by the moment. When you look at it, no, he's gently holding a rose in his fingers, by the tip of his fingers, delicately holding it. So he is somebody who seems to be living the moment, somebody who's not afraid to be different. And when I look at his face, he seems to be at this present time inward looking. His attention seems to be held by something that is happening deep inside him. It could be that he is at this present time his attention is taken by a certain inspiration, a certain dream. It could even be that he is receiving download from the universe and he is learning interiorly about certain mysteries or something. Oftentimes society misunderstands people who have visions, who have dreams, who see things in a different light, those who listen to a different drummer. And because they don't understand them, they find it hard to understand them, and they oftentimes do not see what these visionaries would see or can see. They are often considered as fools. And yeah, it's quite fitting, but in reality they are not fools. When you look at it, these are persons who can change the world. These are persons who are able to introduce new things to the world. Now, when we look at this person, he is looking forward and upwards at sea, as if he is anticipating something in the future. And there is a certain peace, a certain glow in his countenance. So it has to be something very positive, something in the future that he could visualize as something wonderful, something positive, something that is promising. And when you look at it, he really is more, his attention is more centered inwardly rather than outwardly. He's a sort of like a little bit oblivious of the things behind him and the things below him. It could be possible that the reason he's looking also forward is that maybe he is looking at something that is very interesting in the distance. It could be an eagle in flight, or maybe something outside him or something above him and in front of him is catching his attention. It can be something that uplifts him further, something that is in unison with what is happening within him, that maybe what he is seeing outwards or externally is in fact even increasing the energy of the thing that is happening inside him. Now, looking at this flower, it's like a lily, something that is white, can symbolize pureness. So for me, it makes me think of pure love, young love can be. The flower for me can symbolize love. It could be that he saw somebody that inspires him to love, and that everything he sees him blooms. And then, like, he was walking and maybe he saw this flower and it reminded him of this person that is enamored. So he picked this flower, and when you look at it, he touches the flower ever so gently. So there is a tenderness in the nature of this person. Like, he treasures the flower, or that someone that symbolizes the flower. It can be also that a little bit earlier somebody gave him the flower, and it could have triggered this inspiration that now he seems to be walking in the clouds. Speaking of walking in the clouds, when you look at it, he's already near the precipice of this rocky ground where he's stepping on. When I look at it, I am not sure if this rocky promontory falls into a very deep ravine. Now, if it is falling into a very deep ravine, his reverie or his preoccupation with what is happening interiorly might cause possible dangers to this person, or might even give death, might cause dangerous injury. However, we don't know how high this promontory could be. We are not sure that it's just maybe 2 feet, and 2 feet below there's already a ledge that all he has to do is to skip to it into that ledge. So we also are not aware. But it's also possible that even if it is only 2 feet high, if he jumps on it, there is a danger also of tripping and injuring his ankle, and spraining his ankle. because when you look at it, this dog also is about to fall in the ledge. Dogs are more sensitive than us, so it could be possible that this guy, and it seems to be he is in a very high place with all those mountain ranges in there, might be a native of this place, and he already knows this path. He might have gone through this path so many times that even if he would walk in reverie, he somehow already knows where to step on. So it's also possible that he, whatever he is undergoing right now, this path that he's undergoing is something that he's already used to, and so he's able to go through it with less visual attention, because somehow he is already used to it, and by intuition he already knows which are the safer paths. So like that, so that is also a possibility. But since we do not know this, there is maybe a need for a little bit more caution to avoid injury or death. But at the same time, we admire this person. Maybe he is already used to it, and maybe that is the reason why he seems to be a little bit oblivious. He's already used to it. I remember there was one time that they say that accidents are more often when you are in a place that you are well used to. So maybe having a bit of caution during the journey is a prudent and a wise thing to have. Now, with regards to this dog, it could really be that he has a dog really as a pet. But this dog can also symbolize as a companion whose heart is in one with his heart, whose spirit and mind is also in one with him. When you look at it, this person is looking upwards, and even the companion, the dog, which can symbolize a companion, is also looking upwards. So they seem to be in unison with each other. It seems that their whole being are one with each other. They seem to have the same heart, the same inspiration, the same dreams, and there is a certain loyalty with this dog. You know, it's as if that if this person is about to fall on the fall on a cliff, it seems that the dog is also in danger of falling into the cliff. So there is a certain oneness between these two, a certain loyalty between these two. Now it could be that you could be this person and this dog could be a companion, or it could be the other way around. This person is your companion and you are the loyal dog. So it can be. It could be also that the dog is more aware of his companion and that the dog is trying to warn him that he is about to fall. So it's also good to have this companion. This companion, there is a certain loyalty in him, and at the same time, the companion can also be someone who can warn him of potential dangers. But at the same time, if they are one heart, there's also danger that this person could lead his companion into danger because of his exuberance and his spontaneity. No? Now, looking at this one, he has this pole with a small bag at the end. So it seems to be a person who is used to traveling. He travels light. I mean, if you're a person who's used to traveling, you will really try to travel light. People who are not used to traveling would carry more things than they really need. But this person seems to be someone who is used to carrying what is only essential. And yes, he seems to be a person who seems to celebrate life, someone who is spontaneous, someone who lives by the moment, you know? Someone who knows how to celebrate. And he is, in a certain sense, in touch with the beauty of creation. This tenderness towards a flower, looking up into the sky, could be he's enjoying the changing colors of the sky, but at this present time, it seems that the sky is colored yellow. So he seems to be in a journey. I don't know if he's just beginning a journey or he is just about to finish a journey, and it's because of the sun. The sun is shining brightly, and the sun is behind him. Yeah. So if the sun is behind him, so it means it's not noontime. It is either morning or late afternoon or afternoon. If it is in the morning, it means that the sun is just rising and it is warming his back, which for me is also very symbolic. I mean, the sun usually represents the source, and the source seems to be warming his back. It's as if the universe is telling him, do not worry, we are taking care, or we are watching your back. We are taking care of you. When you look at it, the wind seems to be gentle also, because I mean, if the wind is very strong, then this feather on his head would have blown away. And it seems that the seams of his sleeve are also gently moving, and even the flower seems to be unaffected by strong winds. So it seems like it is a day when the wind is very gentle, the sun is warm, the sky is clear. It's as if the whole of the universe is in tune with the inspiration or the dream or the download that this person is receiving at this present time. It's as if the whole of creation is supporting and providing him a good environment for whatever this dream is, so that this dream can flourish. So there's a certain oneness of creation, as if the creation is also supporting the inspiration of this person. And when you look at it, the sun is bringing comfort to him, and as if the whole creation is comforting him, supporting him, and really, really, really is in support of him. And if he is traveling towards the west, so it means that it is morning and the sun is just beginning to rise. So it could symbolize a new beginning, as if he just finished the darkness of the night and that a new day is beginning, which is promising. It seems to be good weather ahead of him. So if it is morning time, he is just beginning a new chapter in his life, and it seems to be promising, and he seems to be empowered by a dream, and he's on his journey. If, however, he is walking towards the east, it is possible that the sun is just beginning to set. So it means that, yes, he seems to be looking forward to a bright future or a promising future or an inspiration somewhere, sometime in the future. But before he could reach that promising future, before he could attain that dream, if it is that the sun is just about to set, it means that somehow this person might undergo first a certain night time in his life, a certain darkness. It can be night of the soul, or it can be a moment of rest. I mean, oftentimes when the day is about to end, we look forward also to rest. So it can be possible that this person has just undergone a long journey, and he is excited to find that moment of rest because the sun is just about to set, and that he will have a moment of rest and being alone, or not really being alone because his companion is with him. So maybe a moment of rest together with somebody who is one with him. So it can be a moment of rest. It can be also a moment of solitude, a moment of darkness. It can be a moment of transformation also. So it is possible. There are two possibilities here. If the sun is just rising, then there is a beautiful future awaiting him. If the sun is just about to set, yes, there is also a beautiful future awaiting him, but it seems that he has to undergo first a certain period of being alone, of being in transformation possibly, or a certain moment of darkness, or a certain moment of rest possible also. So there is a certain moment of a certain moment of transit moment before the adventure would begin. So oftentimes it can be a moment of transformation. When we look closely to the clothing of this person, which touches his skin, no, I see like, it seems like to be either flowers or it's more like shells, no? When I look at it, these things are like shells, no? And those around the shells are like leaves, no? And this red one seems to be something like flowers. So it seems that this person is in touch with creation, like a cloth that is touching the skin. So it can be that this person is someone who is in touch with nature. At the same time, they say, I don't know, maybe you can check it also, shells could represent some certain security, fertility also, something that is promising. The shell can be also a certain security, a certain protection. So it can be, it can support that nature is really protecting him, that he is someone who is protected. I'm also a little bit interested with this bag that he has. No? When I look at it, no, I can't help but think of a raven. This tip here is like the beak of a raven, no? And a ravens or crows, no? It can be a crow. A raven or a crow can symbolize transformation, being in touch with the subconscious, being in touch with the infinite. So it can really, this can also support this inward looking of this person, that maybe this person is undergoing transformation. And if the sun is just about to set, then maybe this person is going to undergo first transformation before he journeys into this promising future. It can also symbolize like another seashell. So if it is a seashell, it can also another support that he is being taken care of by the universe, and at the same time, yeah, there's a certain protectiveness in it, a certain fertility, a certain promise of new birth, no? So when you look at it, it's something like that. And the mountain ranges, you know, symbolizes that the journey will not be really that easy, but there will be a lot of challenges. There will be ups and downs, the rugged roads, maybe even some rocky ground that can hurt his feet or along the way, you know. So it seems that although it's a promising journey, it's not going to be an easy hike. It's going to be challenging. But the beautiful thing about it is the disposition of this person. It's as if, despite of the ruggedness of the terrain around him, he seems to be fresh. He seems to have the energy and the positive outlook of going into the journey, and a certain awareness of the present. It's like he has the ability to live by the moment, that he is able to find joy amidst the challenges of the journey. Now, the yellow sky for me gives warmness. It's as if he's loved. He's cared for. The rays of the sun warming his back again, for me symbolizes loved. He seems to be not only loved, there is a possibility that he's being loved by someone, and it's a source of inspiration for him, but it seems that he's also loved by the universe, that he is also being supported and a certain protection to him. So yes, seems to be some danger along the way, but there's also a certain faith on this person that things will be okay, and a certain confidence in him that despite of the dangers along the way, he will be all right. Everything is going to be fine. There is a certain youthfulness in this person, like a certain trust that everything will be okay, that he is cared for, somebody or something is protecting him. A certain trust, childlike trust there is, and a certain sense of wonder, a certain sense of looking into the future with hope, that the future for him holds a certain promise. You see also here, when you see at the skirt, no, the wind is blowing a little, but just enough to maybe balance the heat of the sun and provide him a certain form of coolness. So the environment or the situation is really, really very conducive for him to have a comfortable journey, a journey where he can enjoy every moment. You know? As he looks to the future, he's also enjoying the moment. It's a wonderful thing. I mean, he is in touch with the future and also with the present moment. He's back. It's as if he's more future and presently aware. Maybe he has already turned his back on something in the past, and that something in the past no longer has power over him, maybe. Or it could be that something in the past is the one that has inspired him to look forward to the future and to live the present moment. So it can be also something that is positive. Now, when I look at him, no, something that is very interesting for me is that he seems to have an Adam's apple here. So I see a masculine energy, but at the same time, no, there is this tenderness. And there is a certain strength and confidence in him in going through the journey, a certain courage of not being afraid of the dangers, but at the same time, there is a certain feminine side of him also, you know, not enjoying something that is colorful, not being afraid to look a little bit more pretty or a little bit more less masculine, enjoying beauty, no? So in a certain sense, I kind of feel that this person has a certain balance between his masculine and feminine energy. There is a certain balance of being masculine and being feminine, which is quite a good characteristic of this person. I mean, being in the center, there's a balance between the yin and the yang. And he seems to be really, really ready for the journey. He seems to have a very good boots along the way. He has some things that he carries and it's just light enough. So he seems to be somebody who is prepared for the journey. And his clothes seems to be something that is fit for the journey. I mean, it's clothing that he will not worry too much that it will get destroyed along the way. No, for him, I think this is a kind of clothing that he can just lay on the ground and not worry whether the clothing will be damaged or something. No, it seems that he's really ready for the journey. Even the clothing is something that is comfortable, that allows him to really walk with ease. And when you look at it, there is something inside this outer clothing, so he's also seems to be ready for a change of weather. Even if it's a sunny day, he has something that will maybe at least somehow to a certain extent keep him warm just in case the weather changes. So he seems to be ready for this journey, and this certain confidence could either mean that he is really inspired by the dream, or it could be that this is something that he's already used to, something that is done to. So if the sun is just rising, it could be a promise of a promising day for him, or a promising new chapter. If the sun is setting, before he could go to this promising journey or promising chapter, there might be a moment that he will undergo a moment of darkness or a moment of transition. It doesn't have to be negative. It can be something positive. I mean, it could be that, for example, a person who is used to traveling at night finds nighttime as something very, very positive for them. Because nighttime is a time of rest, a time to see the stars, a time to feel the warmth of a campfire. So it can be also a moment of rest, a moment of letting go of some activities, of slowing down, maybe allowing some transformation to occur in his life. So I guess this is our reflection for today. If any of the insights that we have gathered by just observing this card, if it resonates with you, then maybe it's a message for you at this moment in your journey. I hope also that somehow by trying to let the card speak to us will somehow inspire and somehow give us insights on how to be more open to the tarot cards and to allow them to really tell us what the card would want us to do. So it might increase our intuitive capacity also. I hope that this moment of studying the card of the Fool might have given us some pointers or some points of reflection that could help us be more intuitive to the cards that we read. We now go to part 2 of the reading of the card of the Fool in our one card spread series. So in this part 2, we will be reading a portion of the booklet of the tarot deck, Tarot of A.E. Waite by A.G.M. Urania. As you can see, this booklet has one page that describes the Fool, and there is a portion here which says divinatory meanings and warnings and advice, and also what action to take. Okay, so I'm going to read it now. The Fool. Some see him as the beginning of the Major Arcana, and some see him as the end. In reality, it depends on how the Fool, or you, move through crises and challenging times of the world or your own life. Originally, this card meant a crazy homeless person driven from place to place, often attacked by animals. If you have lost everything, if your world has collapsed around you, then the Fool can mirror this difficult state. Alone, with nothing left but what you can carry in a bag on a stick. But look at the picture. Does he appear miserable? The other meaning of the Fool is freedom. Freedom from rules, freedom from possessions, freedom from all narrow beliefs of what is important, even your own previous beliefs about yourself. His number, which is 0, means nothing or no thing, no limitations. The Fool has learned to react to everything exactly as it is, not as what he thinks it should be. By accepting drastic change, he gains freedom. So, divinatory meanings: spontaneity, freedom, taking risks, difficulty in planning ahead. Some warning or advice. Hesitation, fear of risk, possibly caution. Preparation. Action. A moment to act spontaneously without plans or even thought. Well, so that is what the handbook tells us. Until next time, have a great day.